Have you ever heard of a bedside table? Now, I know this sounds kind of crazy, but you can make a stunning bedside table with these two bread bins. It's a super straightforward DIY. The first step is to take out the bottoms. This is just some flimsy MDF, so if you make a hole with your drill, you can then use your jigsaw to take out the rest. All the drill does is make a hole so you can get started with the jigsaw. The ones I have here I got from IKEA, but I found them as cheap as £15 online. Now, the dust from MDF really does get everywhere, so it's a good idea to wear a mask and maybe don't do it in your kitchen. Now they're ready to be stuck together.
There's lots of different types of glue that you could use, but this is the one that I'm going to use. It's a contact adhesive. It just means that it sticks really well and quite quickly. You apply it onto the surface and you leave it for about 20 minutes until it's touch dry.
You can use a paintbrush like I'm using or a little plastic glue spreader.
After about 20 minutes, when it becomes touch dry, stick these two sides together, use some clamps to keep it in place and wait for it to dry.
The contact adhesive that I'm using does dry quite quickly, so I wanted to make sure that I did this bit fairly promptly. I discovered that there were little gaps in between the bread bins, which made it a little bit tricky to clamp them together, but I will just fill that in with some wood filler. But are the clamps that I've got even going to be big enough? No, it's too small. No! Looks like I'm going to have to dig out my even bigger clamp.
That's annoying. I have some wood primer that I'm going to use first. Quite a lot of paints that you can get these days, you don't actually need to put a paint primer on to be able to start painting. But I'm going to put one on as the wood soaks up quite a lot of moisture, so you end up using quite a lot of your nice paint. You could just use a much cheaper undercoat and have the nice colour on top and use less of it.
It's just a simple way to save a bit of money.
You'll take off these clamps and you'll notice there's a bit of excess glue on there. I'm just going to get a sanding pad and just gently sand it off.
Usually I would wipe off any glue before it dries, but sometimes even with the most careful hand, it can still happen.
You might want to apply a little bit of wood filler in some of the gaps. This gap actually isn't that large, so I could just paint over it and look quite natural to the piece. But I'm going to put just a tiny bit of wood filler in.
As you can see, I'm taking the very professional method of scooping it in with my finger. I've also decided to paint the inside. I'll paint as much as I can before turning it upside down and painting the final side.
After this first coat has dried, you might want to go over it with a very light sandpaper, something around 340 grit, because when you put the paint on there, something happens called raising the grain. And that basically means the wood swells because of the moisture from the paint, and small little fibres of wood sort of poke up. And when you go over with a light sand, it just takes those fibres off and makes it a much smoother finish.
A light sand in between paint coats is generally good advice for anything you're painting that's wood, but it's especially important when you're painting raw, unfinished wood.
It's finally dry after 2 coats of paint. I'm also going to add a layer of furniture varnish. I'm going to add this because the paint that I've used isn't designed especially for wood, so it's not waterproof. So I need to add this because then when you put your cup on top of it,
you don't get one of those nasty rings. I quite like this method of using emulsion and a varnish layer because then you don't have to buy a whole pot of specialist wood paint for every project.
This is where we've got to. It's been covered with a couple of bits of paint. It's also been covered with some varnish and it's now dry. We're going to stick these feet on. I'm going to do 2 at the back, and obviously the front is curved, so there's no obvious place to put them because the corner would be there, and that just looks strange. So I'm going to move them in slightly and back slightly. Now when you're screwing them in, keep in mind that this piece of wood here isn't actually that thick. So these are the screws I'll be using. But now the legs are screwed in. This is the really exciting part.
And if I could have a drum roll, please?
Get to turn it over and see what it actually looks like. Oh, it's the simple things. There we go. That cost me less than 50 quid. It's bespoke, it's the colour that I wanted, and I'm going to go stage it upstairs now.
So what do you think? You going to try it yourself?